Hi everyone. This is Carmen. I haven't been on in a while and I wanted to say hi and I want to share with you some news about my new book coming out in May, Moon Signs, Houses, and Healing. If you follow me on Facebook, I'm sure you've seen pictures. It's similar to my Sun Signs, Houses, and Healing book, but it'll have a purple cover. And this, of course, the Sun Signs, Houses, and Healing, if you haven't grabbed your copy, please do. It's out on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It's been out for almost a year now. And this makes a great companion to my new book coming out next month. Actually, it'll be here. Wow. Moon Signs, Houses, and Healing. Gain emotional strength and fulfillment through astrology. So the thing about the moon sign, in my opinion, is that it's just as powerful or more powerful than our sun sign. You know, the sun sign is really our main identity, our main personality. It's those traits that we show people readily and that people notice about us. But the moon sign is that hidden part of ourselves that we tend to keep private. And it's that inner nature that we have, that the way we react, the way we respond to pain and hurt and how we show love. And the moon in your natal chart is where you find emotional fulfillment. It's where you find security. It's where you feel comfortable. It's where you feel most comfortable. So knowing what sign it's in and what house, you'll be able to show and see, where do I feel the most comfortable? Where do I feel the most safe to express my emotional nature and my inner feelings without being too vulnerable, right? Because the moon is our vulnerable side. And so we don't always readily trust others to see that side of us. And so, as you know, the moon travels through each sign of the zodiac every 2 to 3 days. So to calculate your moon sign, you need to really know your date and year of birth, you know, your month, date, and year. You need to know your exact time of birth. If you can get as close as possible, that's really helpful. And your city, state, place, country of birth. If you don't know the time, if you can narrow it down within a certain time period, there are moon sign calculators that you can go on Google and find and look up your birth date and year, and it'll show you what sign the moon is in and what period of time. So you'll kind of have an idea if you're on the cusp or if the moon changes signs during that day you're born. And then you might want to read the traits of both signs, you know, if you don't have your birth time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you just a few of my favorite things about each of the moon signs. It's a little article that I wrote, and I'm going to read it to you here. And so, you know, it's good to know, you know, the key things about the moon, because the moon is where we heal. So we utilize our moon sign traits to heal. And this is just what I believe from meeting people and doing counseling through the years, seeing people's strengths and how those moon sign strengths really help them overcome challenges and betrayal and trauma and unexpected life events, crisis. You know, that moon is our nature, that, you know, kind of that fight or flight response that comes out when we need to survive something. I really feel that that's connected to your moon sign. So I'm going to read you a little bit what I wrote about each moon sign. So Aries moons, they're resilient. They overcome things very quickly. They're strong, determined, and they overcome negative emotional experiences faster than most people. You know, they don't give up. They're the warrior, right? They're the fighter. They're the bold, you know, courageous, you know, let's go to battle here kind of moon sign. So they like that challenge that life gives them. And they tend to get over things pretty quickly. That's why I say they're one of the most resilient moon signs, is Aries. And then Taurus moons are patient, stable, affectionate, and calm. You know, I find when I meet someone that has a Taurus moon, I can feel their energy. It's very grounded and calm and peaceful, and it makes you feel cozy just being in their presence. And they're pretty quiet and observant, and they make great listeners. So Taurus moons, I see that about them a lot. And then, you know, they work slowly to achieve their goals, and so it takes them a little bit more time to heal from trauma and change, because, you know, they like stability. And so any kind of change is going to be a little bit more difficult for a Taurus moon, and it takes them a little bit more time to heal from challenges and from heartache than most moon signs. The Gemini moon, you know, they're friendly, They're witty, they're communicative, they're a little bit restless. They like change, and so they're able to adapt to unexpected things easily because they're always restless and moving and changing and really wanting newness. Gemini moons like newness. They get bored pretty easily. So whenever there's change, they tend to adapt, and they heal through talking, through communicating what they feel with those they love and their loved ones. So communication is a big healing tool for Gemini moons. And then Cancer moons, they're people that I see as very intuitive, nurturing, protective, and a little bit moody. Their moods go through ups and downs, and that's because they are ruled by the moon. So the cycles of the moon, I find, affect Cancer moon people very, very greatly. Probably more so than any moon sign. And so they have to really, go with that energy that they're in the moment in. And taking care of other people helps them feel strong and needed. And it can take them a little bit longer to heal. They like to withdraw and be home and be by themselves, having that time alone to recover and to replenish their energy really helps a Cancer moon heal and have that peace and harmony in their home environment. Their home environment really needs to be stable for them to feel emotionally secure and comfortable. And so those are some tips with Cancer moon. Now, Leo moons, I always find them to be very charming, playful, flirtatious, romantic, fun-loving, artistic and creative, and they like to feel special. They like to feel appreciated and respected and loved, and they tend to overcome things pretty quickly by getting out and getting their mind off the negative things because, focusing on the positive is what they do. They want to have some fun. They want to do their hobbies, and those things help Leo moons greatly overcome challenges. Virgo moons, they are the perfectionists. So they have very high standards for themselves. They can be a little bit high strung and very hardworking, a little bit shy, but they're good at communication, and they like to learn, and they like to talk, and they like to network and learn things and talk to people that they care about. So the thing that gets them is they analyze things too much. They analyze their emotions so much. So my tip to them to heal is to allow themselves to feel and not to overthink their emotions. So that's kind of my tip for Virgos. Libra moon people, Libra moons are focused on partnership, finding that partner. They heal through having love and relationships in their life and someone to support them and someone that they can focus on and help. And they're peaceful, easygoing. They like fairness. They like justice. They like to please others. And they have a very calm emotional nature and presence that can help people stabilize, and their emotional fulfillment comes through having a partner and someone that they can rely on. And that's a big thing for Libra moons. Scorpio moon. Scorpio moons, as we know, are probably, I'd say, one of the most intense moon signs. They're very secretive. They're very intense emotions that are bubbling inside. They like to hide what they feel. They don't like to feel vulnerable, and they don't readily show you or tell you what they really feel because they protect themselves. And if they really trust you and they have that loyalty and that commitment, then they will open up their more vulnerable inner nature and bond with others. And they're very, very intuitive, very deep, very strong, and they are very resilient. They're the phoenix that, is born and to rise up out of the ashes and then transform and regenerate and change their emotions and rebirth their emotions. So if they're hurt, they're able to regenerate and transform easily. And that's what helps them heal, is letting go of the old way and their old emotions and becoming and feeling a whole new person. So it's very important to them. And I think Scorpio moons takes a lot for them to trust others, but they are good listeners, and a lot of them go into psychology and counseling because they make they give good advice, very resilient people. Scorpio moons are very resilient. Sagittarius moons are adventurous, fun-loving, restless, freedom-loving, independent. They like to be outdoors. They like to be able to come and go as they please, and they're the optimist. So the thing that helps them heal is having a positive outlook on life, and they tend to see the positive, the silver lining when other people don't. And so they're able to uplift others and to kind of snap out of negative emotions or depression quickly, because they always try to look at the good things and look at what they're grateful for and what things are going well in their life. That's big for them. And then Capricorn moon, they, to me, are very serious, very practical, very responsible, and they have a very reserved type of an emotional nature. My daughter is a Capricorn moon, and she's very practical. And I kind of drive her crazy because, I like action. I like things real quick because I'm an Aries moon. I like to make decisions, and, she'll be talking to me about something, and she'll get upset because she wants to think it through and plan before she does anything. And I'm like already on the phone. Okay, let's call and get an appointment and let's fix this. We're going to get it done. And it annoys her. She's like, you didn't even talk to me, or we didn't even get to plan and make a plan and what we're going to do and what we're going to say. And so she wants to wait and be a little bit more patient emotionally before taking action. And so Capricorn moon, that's their gift, is patience, determination, and a realistic emotional nature where they see things realistically. They don't get lost in the feelings of love. They tend to be more of a pessimist, in some ways, which isn't bad, but they are very reliable, very stable, emotional people that can be relied upon. They like to take care of others and their friends, and they're very dedicated and overly responsible at times. And they tend to hide what they feel because they don't want to be vulnerable, and they don't want to be seen as weak. That's the thing with Capricorn moon that I see, that they want to act like they are okay, and they're always calm and practical and realistic. They may be hurting inside, but you may not ever see it because they hide it and only show that sensitive side to their friends and family and those they trust. And then we got Aquarius moon, and to me, they can get a bad reputation of being emotionally detached. It doesn't mean they don't feel things. They do. They're just more intellectual about it. They're a freedom-loving, very friendly moon sign. They like to be unique, eccentric, different, innovative. They're non-traditional, so emotionally they need to feel free and have independence. And commitment can be challenging for them because they don't want to be tied down. They want to be able to explore and do what they want to do and feel like they have their own sense of identity. And so that's kind of an Aquarius moon thing to me. They love to help people. They're humanitarians, but they just don't readily show very strong displays of emotions, highs and lows. They're more intellectual about their emotions and their feelings, and they can tend to intellectualize their feelings too much, but that's how they survive, and that's how they heal, is by thinking through things and picking apart their emotions and making it very realistic and scientific and intellectual, right? And so then we end with Pisces moon. Pisces moons, to me, are one of the most empathic moon signs. They're compassionate, spiritual, creative. They take on other people's pain and emotions, so they need to learn boundaries, and they need to protect their own inner self. They need time and solitude to withdraw from the world and be alone. That helps them heal. And reading, meditation, yoga, anything that can bring peace and in a sense of calmness is really important for Pisces moons. And because they are givers, they like to help people and expressing their creativity, their artistic and musical side, writing a journal, dreaming, keeping a dream log. All those things can help them get in touch with their emotions and balance them out. So I feel like all of the 12 moon signs overcome challenges in different ways. They have their own strengths, their own weaknesses, and their own way that they become resilient. And so I would love for you to check out my new book that's coming out on May 8th. It's available for pre-order right now on Amazon. It's called Moon Signs, Houses, and Healing. Gain emotional strength and resilience through astrology. This is my Sun Signs, Houses, and Healing book. So this is kind of a companion. I recommend getting both. very basic, covers the introduction of all of the meanings of the energy, the signs, the placements, the houses, how to calculate your chart, what the moon signs mean, all of the different strengths, how the full moon affects each moon sign. I have that in my moon sign book. How you feel passion, how you find comfort and security based on your moon sign. It's all in my new book. So please go out and grab your copy today. And thank you.